So lots of questions spring to mind when we hear that. What is a ready-made superstar in the making is the first question I have. The second question is on Patrick Bamford. My argument with that is I think he's already proved a lot of people wrong, Darren. When he came up to the Premier League, lots of people were saying the first thing that Leeds have got to do is get themselves a better striker that can score Premier League goals. He went and scored 17 goals for Leeds last season. I think he's on his way to becoming an even better player as well, the more he develops under Marcelo Bielsa. I think also when you're given a cap for whatever reason, you've already earned the right to have that cap. Gareth Southgate doesn't feel like Mason Greenwood is quite ready yet and wants to handle that development and be careful with it. He's also playing for Manchester United, so the eyes of the world are already on him. I think he earned that right to be that player, and I think if he'd have scored in that game and had better service, maybe the conversation would have been a little bit different yesterday, but unfortunately he didn't manage to score. Where do you stand on this? Because I saw yesterday you got involved when this went up on social media. Yeah,
because for me, I mean, it was. I felt quite hurt for Patrick Bamford in terms of a little bit disrespectful, because at the same time he has earned the right. He scored 7. People talk about the Premier League being the best league in the world, the most competitive league in the world, and he was the second highest scoring Englishman last season. So I think he had 7 assists as well in there. So his goal involvement was right up there. With I know Harry Kane's was obviously top, but of course, I get it, mate. And listen, for me, Mason Greenwood should have been in the squad. But that's not at the detriment of Patrick Bamford. They both could have been in the squad, because Mason Greenwood has started off this season extremely well, been brilliant. Patrick Bamford started off well. He got his goal, obviously, against Burnley last week. So, and I don't want to see that type of scenario that people are all of a sudden now questioning Bamford's involvement in the squad simply because Mason Greenwood's not there. And I mean, two things can be true. Yes, Greenwood should have been in the squad, but arguably Patrick Bamford, which he did, deserved to be in there. So I get it in terms of that. For whatever reason, Gareth Southgate doesn't want to pick him or hasn't picked Mason Greenwood yet. But at the same time, for what Patrick Bamford did last season, and he should have got called up last season, but he didn't. He got the call up now. He thoroughly deserves it. And it doesn't really matter who he's playing for. And you're right, he has had to kind of shut a few people up. Because I remember at the start of last season, I think it was David O'Leary I heard saying, if they don't sign another centre-forward Leeds, they're going to be in trouble. Well, do you know what I mean? He went and scored 17 Premier League goals. That's an unbelievable return for someone who's just got promoted into the Premier League. So, for me, deserves the right. Fair play to Gareth Southgate for kind of sticking to his word and picking players on form rather than reputation. And, I mean, you said about the World Cup. If he was to go and score 15 to 20 goals again this season, there's no saying that he can't get himself in that World Cup squad. I
like what you say there. Two things can be true. It doesn't have to be this guy or that guy.
It was a little bit like the Mason Mount scenario. It was almost like the whole nation wanted to see Jack Grealish in the squad, so that means Mason Mount's not a good player. Well, no, they're both good players. It's just for whatever reason, Gareth preferred Mason Mount over Jack Grealish.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Laura Woods, Monday to Wednesday mornings 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.